What's going on, guys? Alex Eubank here. Today's video is going to be some of the things that I wish I knew before I started working out. Meaning some of the things that I've learned over time as I've gained experience that I would have done differently to take advantage of your newbie gains. If you don't know what newbie gains are, it's like your first year of working out is where you have maximum growth. That's where you're going to gain the most amount of muscle, and then it slowly decreases every year. So maybe your first year you gain like 20 pounds of muscle, next year 15, next year 10, and then it gets really like exponentially lower and lower. So you're only adding like 1 to 2 pounds of muscle a year after you're like 5 years into lifting consistently. So if you're definitely starting off and you're new, it's really important to try to get everything down. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to be going over is like training frequency and like the bro split. When I first started lifting, I really was into like working each muscle group once a week, and then like those like days, like chest day, I would do like 25 sets of chest. You're really wasting your time at that point, because like I've stated in my other videos, each muscle group only needs like 10 to 15 sets for that muscle group during that workout to have adequate growth, and it's also been shown to have better increases in gains if you're working out at least 2 to 3 times per week on each muscle group. Also, like a lot of people, my first year of training, year and a half, I did not really train legs often. It was like once a month because I just wanted to get a big upper body, and it's going to create imbalances. I had problems with my lower back, most likely because I had a bigger upper body than lower body, and I've had to work on balancing that out throughout my off season. Also, when you work out legs, it's just going to create you have better growth hormone levels and stuff like that I've seen in some studies when you do more squatting and deadlifting. Next thing I'm going to go over is having a mind-muscle connection. So when I first started lifting again, when you don't have all that muscle really to begin with, it's hard to kind of feel the muscle you're working. So what I advise to do is really focus on time under tension. If you're like starting to work out or getting into it, really don't focus on the weight at all. Make sure you have your main lifts like squat, bench, deadlift, barbell rows, and stuff like that. And like I said in my other videos, always start off with a pre-exhaustion movement. So for a push day or a bench day, chest day, do some type of fly, isolation movement. Back, do some type of like one arm row. Really focus on that mind muscle connection. Do it really slow. Legs, I'll do some leg extensions before I squat, stuff like that. I still do it like that because developing a mind muscle connection, making sure you got a good pump before you really start lifting, is key to hypertrophy and to building actual muscle mass, because you need to make sure you know the muscle you're working, focusing on the quality of the reps over anything. So yeah, so don't just be pushing up the weight up and down and then expect to make the most out of your gains. Next thing, I'm going to be going over cardio. So when I started bulking at first, I was still running a mile before my actual workout, so that's not really smart to do. I advise doing little to no cardio during bulking phases because I'm big on calories in versus calories out, meaning if you're going to gain muscle, you have to be in a surplus. If you're going to lose fat, you have to be in a deficit, meaning you're not eating as much as you're burning. So I really don't like cardio because it's just kind of, you have to eat more in order to get in that surplus stage, be building on and giving your body that extra energy it needs to build muscle. Next thing, so when I started working out and I did a lot of calisthenics, I was eating no carbs. I was basically doing the Atkins diet. I heard somewhere that carbs is bad for you, and I got really lean for the time being, but I could have put on way more muscle than I did in that time if I was eating carbs. Carbs are necessary to giving you energy. They help your muscles be more full. They carry water, it makes you look more built. It's just like a really main thing you need to be eating. I don't make my carbs too high now. They're probably somewhere in the lower to mid range just because I'm more of a high protein, higher fat type of guy, but everyone's different. So yeah, make sure you're eating adequate carbs. And like a lot of people ask me, they're like, they don't know the whole thing about fats. So like people be like, when I tell them to eat, if they're bulking, to eat a tablespoon of peanut butter after every meal. It's what I say to a lot of people. They're like, oh, I thought fats are bad for you, but no, there's different types of fats, and there's healthy fats like avocados, peanuts, and all stuff like that. And there's your bad fats like fried chicken and all that. Next thing is gonna be dirty bulking. I dirty bulked like crazy throughout high school, and I got up to about, I think my heaviest was 190 my senior year when I graduated, and I was kind of fluffy. I was pretty built and big. I looked really big with the shirt on. With my shirt off, when I keep seeing my Snapchat memories come up, I'm like damn, I look like shit. I look like it was ugly. I didn't like it. I had no abs. It was just kind of like fluffy. My face holds a lot of fat, my neck. it was just a bad look, and it was because I ate everything. And like, go to Chipotle, give me double chicken, sour cream, cheese, queso, all the extra stuff, and you really don't need that. I also advise really keep your dairy low, just because of hormones and the unnecessary fats that can come from it. So yeah, dirty bulking is okay, just don't take it to an extreme extent. Like, you got to eat a lot to, you know, grow good muscle, but like, don't be going to like sugary foods, really bad stuff, a lot of dairy, like whole milk and stuff like that. Try to keep it, I say 80% clean, 20% unclean. That's what I do usually. I don't want to, you know, force myself to be this like health freak eating veggies all the time. Like, I really don't even eat a lot of veggies and fruits as it is. You probably should be doing that. Also make sure you're taking your multivitamins, stuff like that. Another one is mobility work. I still am struggling to get enough mobility work in. I have so many knots and just issues throughout my upper back. My lower back's been messed up recently, and it's created, again, it can create imbalances in your muscles where you have to fix that later on. And like, when you have an injury and you keep working out, you're just gonna make it worse. So definitely try to find good mobility routines. Definitely am not the best for information on that because I'm still trying to learn that. But there's probably YouTube videos out there. Definitely work on your mobility and stretching and all of that so that you can prevent getting these muscle knots and like issues like that where you have to take off time when you could be working out more. But yeah, take advantage of your first few years. Train really hard. Don't be like taking like 2 rest days a week. I say go 6 days a week because your body's gonna be recovering fast. Especially if you're 25 years and younger, you're gonna recover quick. So you don't really need that many rest days. Yeah, so train hard. Make sure, I'm big on going to failure or like a rep before failure in order to get more intensity in so that you're building more muscle tissue, but definitely train hard. Don't train like a little bitch. Make sure you're pushing yourself every day. Oh, also one that I get a lot is like the whole thing of like, can I build muscle, lose fat at the same time? It's really difficult. I don't advise that. I advise having cutting and bulking stages. Another one that I get a lot is like spot reducing fat. Like, oh, like I want to like lose like the lower part of my fat on my stomach. Everyone's gonna have issues with that. We all store fat in different parts of our body, so people struggle with that. The only way to lose it is not by doing hella ab exercises. You gotta just get to a lower body fat. Try intermittent fasting, cut your calories, do more cardio, stuff like that. I'm really big on intermittent fasting. I've talked about that in my other videos. But yeah, that's it for today's video. I don't know how many things that was, but that was just kind of on my mind today because I've been having a lot of people hit me up asking me for tips, and a lot of them are like really similar. Like they're really repetitive and, you know, along the same lines. So I hope this could help with that at all. So these are definitely like things that I would have changed if I could go back to day one of working out, and I would have done things a little bit differently from the start because it took me about maybe 2.5 years before I really started getting my training down to where I'm doing the same thing every day. And it's going to take time for you to learn your own body. That's also a really big thing. So once you learn your own body, you kind of know how much you need to be eating every day without having to track it. Like, I don't track my stuff at all. You kind of know how your body works, and yeah, so that just comes with experience. But yeah, that's it for today's video. Like I said, hope you guys are staying safe. Make sure that you're listening to your state, your government, whatever they're saying for conditions regarding this coronavirus stuff. Definitely stay inside because I'm trying to get this over with. I know you guys do because you guys probably want to go back to the gym and you guys can't right now. Also dropped the 4-week calisthenics program you can do at home, so go check that out if you haven't already. Thank you guys so much for 800 subscribers. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm a teen bodybuilder and I make YouTube videos like this. And if you guys have any ideas for YouTube video ideas, put them down below. I'm probably going to be doing a full day of eating probably tomorrow. I'll probably record it tomorrow and upload it in the next few days. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support. I'll see you guys in the next one.